Welcome to the Insight series on organizational well-being. Our question for this week is, what is the program planning process used by the WellCert program? Number 16. What is the program planning process used by the WellCert program? It's a 6-step planning process that includes step number 1, setting your wellness strategy. Step 2, establishing the infrastructure for your program. Step 3, planning the communications activity. Step 4, planning the health management process for your program. And step 5, planning the group activities that you plan to provide. And step 6 is planning the supportive environment around the programming. Now, I'd like to go into each of these in more depth and then give you a summary of this particular planning process. First of all, in step number 1, the specific area that we are dealing with is the choice among 3 different types of wellness programming and strategy. The feel-good wellness program strategy is essentially a fun-oriented, easy-to-do type of approach to what wellness is about. The traditional wellness approach emphasizes activities, so we tend to put more activities together that people can access. And the third type of choice that you have in strategy is toward what's called a results-driven strategy, where we begin to get more serious with larger incentives, have a higher degree of integration, have a greater emphasis on productivity and other organizational benefits, but that's the results-driven strategy. Each of these 3 strategies are usually chosen at the beginning of a program, and it basically sets the stage for the rest of the planning process. When we come to step 2, the establishing the infrastructure consists of about 15 or so administrative items, and they're things like job descriptions, budgets, work programs, descriptive materials on the program, those kinds of things. And the technology infrastructure, which deals with things like smartphone apps, the use of emails for communication, the use of learning management systems for learning, the use of e-health portals for providing online support for people as they pursue wellness. So these are the various aspects of the infrastructure. That's our step 2. The step 3 in the WellCert program planning process is planning your communications and marketing. And that generally is going to deal with branding your program, having a strong brand, as well as choosing the specific vehicles that you'll be communicating to the employees with, and then the messaging strategies that you have, and the calendar that you have in terms of messaging timetable. The step 4 in the planning process is planning your health management process. And that means primarily looking for ways to put testing and tracking opportunities into your program. Those are designed to help people make the long-term habit change around wellness that we ascribe to and desire to have happen. Step 5 is planning group activities, and there are about 20 different points, we call them planning prompts, that help you design group activities that are much more effective and can in fact help people develop those long-term habits. Finally, in step 6, planning the supportive environment. The policies that are available to us in the worksite, there are about 30 different types of policies that are in employment policies, benefit policies that can support wellness. So we begin to start shifting those policies over time, along with specific environmental changes. So those are the things that we change in our environment to help it be easier for our employees to initiate and to maintain wellness activities. So these 6 steps are the key planning steps that we use in the WellCert program to help design much more effective and successful wellness programs. In summary, there are ways to design employee wellness programs that lead to much more long-term behavior change and healthy habit formation. This six-step planning method and planning process has been used successfully in hundreds of employer wellness programs. And over this last 4 decades, through its use, you end up with a group of behavioral targets. And those are the things that we are working on in our wellness program, and corresponding for those targets specific interventions. And those are programmatic interventions that are designed to help you meet your program's goals and objectives. This second of the 4 constructs that make up our results-driven logic framework, this is number 2 out of the 4. And the first one are needs and targets. The second one is this 6-step planning process, which results in the targets that you are going to identify and the interventions that you'll be using. And the third item we're going to look at next week is the intermediate results. How do we know the program's working? How do we know that it's causing the effects that we are observing? And then lastly, the fourth construct in the framework, the logic framework we talked about earlier several weeks back, is the ultimate results, what we're attempting to look at and change over time. Now, for more information on this topic, put the following search strings into your web browser: planning employee wellness programs, how to plan employee wellness programs, methods for planning employee wellness programs. Next week, we'll be addressing the question, what are the intermediate results of an employee wellness program? And for more information, please visit our website at www.chapmaninstitute.com.